What's it like to be a nomad? Well, that's what we wondered when we got the chance to talk with Charlene Swankie, one of the stars of the new film Nomadland. She tells you everything you need to know about the lifestyle.
Got my pen pal?
Swankie here.
Swankie, you sent me an email about my review that they had misspelled your name in the review, and that was so cool to get. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Swankie, do you mind if I call you that? Is that all right?
Absolutely.
Okay, when you saw this happening, did you say it's going to change my life? And has it changed your life?
Has not changed my life. I knew it would kind of reprioritize some things for me. I was in the middle of a family research project doing genealogy when all this started, and I had to kind of set that on the back burner, but basically it hasn't changed my everyday life at all.
So you can still be anonymous? People don't spot you?
No, not so much anymore.
That would be tough. And then how did family members respond when they said, oh my God, she's dead?
Most of them are already dead.
Oh.
My youngest son, I didn't tell my kids anything about the movie prior to the premiere. After the premiere, or right before the premiere, I told them. And when my son saw it in one of the earlier previews or virtual releases,
Sure.
The next day I get an email, and all he says, "Is it true?" And I knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
He said he couldn't tell whether I was acting or not, so he
well,
had to ask me whether I was sick and dying.
Well, was acting easy?
Most of the time I wasn't acting.
So do you think you could have a career in this
No.
field?
No. I don't think so.
What do you think people will learn from your experience and then seeing the film as well?
I don't know. My message would be to women who have been housewives and mothers all their lives and never put into Social Security. So it comes time to retire and they've devoted their lives to other people and not taken any time to consider their own life or where they might end up. And then they end up alone on the road because they can't afford an apartment. Where do you get a decent place to live for $500 or $1,000 a month and still have money for food and gas? And it's impossible in this day and age. So most women don't understand that in their early years, and they give everything to the family, and then they end up being forced on the road. I chose to go on the road, but a lot of women are not making the choice.
Was it scary at all when you first started?
Not for me. I was never afraid.
Really? I would find it very difficult to do what you're doing.
I just never have felt a fear of the unknown. It's just sometimes the unknown holds surprises you can't even imagine.
Well,
you have to have faith. And
if I were to do something,
if you don't have a reason to stay, then you must have a reason to go. And I didn't have any reason to stay where I was in a bad situation that wasn't healthy for me.
Sure.
So I have to find something healthier.
If you were to do something like this, what would you suggest? Like, what 5 things would a person need to go on the road?
Well, you got to have enough money for gas. That's critical. You got to have a vehicle that's going to give you shelter and transportation. I was lucky that I had health insurance. I would never tell a woman to go out there if they had medical conditions, pre-existing conditions. I would never advise them to hit the road if they didn't have medical coverage and health insurance. Some of them only have local health insurance. Some of them don't have any health insurance at all. And I've been lucky that way. So I don't have 5, I only have 3.
Okay. Is there any joy in having somebody else with you, or is it part of it that you have to really be alone?
Absolutely no joy for me to have somebody with me.
Really?
No. I love being alone. I just love it.
When you look around the country, are there places where you go, oh, that's really great, you've got to go there? And then other ones where you go, that I'll never go back there.
Well, I set out in 2009 to kayak America. On my 70th birthday in May 16, 2014, I kayaked my 50th state, which was Hawaii.
Wow. Hawaii,
Kayak
that's fun.
state. I didn't like very much like the ones east of the Mississippi. Crowded, big cities, dirty water. It just wasn't a lot of fun for me. But I went to every state east of the Mississippi, and I decided I don't need to do that again. I can stay over here west of the Mississippi, and it's prettier and the water's cleaner. There's more space, there's fewer people. I just like it a lot better.
So west is the better part to be.
West is good.
Okay. So how expensive is this kind of lifestyle? Is it very expensive? Like, would I have to work every day just to make sure I could afford things or not?
You got to eat wherever you are. You got to buy gas. If you're not traveling, like when I was traveling every state, I needed a lot of gas. Now I mainly stay in Arizona. I don't need much gas. So my gas budget's smaller. Everything else is the same. You need the internet. You need groceries. You need gas. Everything's the same as it would be if you're in sticks and bricks, but you don't have rent. You don't have taxes. You don't have utilities. You don't have all these other things, and you don't have a whole lot of people. So it's not, it's less, well, people don't do it because it's more expensive. They do it because it's less expensive.
What about all that crap, though, that we accumulate over the years? How do you get rid of that?
Just gave it away. I put it out on the street. I put it out on the street corner. Every time I took a load out to the street corner, I'd go back with another load, and the first load would be gone.
Wow.
Clothes. I took all the clothes to the Goodwill. I had like 5 bags of dress clothes for working in offices and stuff. 5 big bags full. Took them to a woman's shelter where they're helping women get back to work. Donated them. Just give it away.
Did you value anything, though? Did you say I need to have my pictures, or I need to have?
Oh no, I kept all family pictures, genealogy, videotapes, audio tapes. I have all of those with me. I'm trying to get everything digitized and sent off to libraries and archives. I've been a genealogist for 50 years. So I'm trying to.
How far back do you go?
Oh, way back.
Way back?
Way back. And this depends on what line you go on. You got 2, and then you got 4, and then you got 8, and then you got 16 and 32, and it just gets crazy after a while. So it depends on which one of those lines you go on. But on one line, when I first started researching the family, on one line, I went back to 1410 in France, and he was a keeper of the governor's salt mines in France in 1410. And that was that was the first week I started. I got hooked after that.
Well, that's fantastic. Acting. Is it something that you even think about, or, is it just, this is a different kind of a project, and so that doesn't even enter the picture?
It was not on my bucket list. I don't consider myself an actor. Some magical way and some surreal way of becoming a movie star, but that wasn't on my bucket list either.
Did you talk with Francis about it?
No,
not
really.
I worked
at Living History Museums for a while as a first-person interpreter, so I suppose that was acting. We had characters that we had to portray, and so as an 1832 housewife in Indiana or something, living in a log cabin, cooking on an open hearth.
When you watched the film, what did you think?
The first few times I watched it, I was picking it apart. I'm going, oh, we parked there, we filmed that scene there, there's so and so, and what's his name, and and then I couldn't enjoy the story. I had to watch it a few more times before I could just sort of let loose and be a little more objective and see the story, see where Chloe was going with the story. So it was. And I cried. I cried when I finally got it. It was like, oh, I think I got it now. But I cried at a couple of different scenes. I didn't cry at my own scene because I knew I wasn't dying. But other people have told me they cried. And my own son didn't know. So I don't know if he cried or not.
So when you look at this as part of your life, where does that sit? Is it like, this is a really cool part of my life? Is this a highlight of my life? Or is it just another day?
Well, it's not definitely not just another day. It's pretty unusual and surreal, and it'll probably be something I remember fondly. But it's not the highlight of my life either. I think the highlight of my life so far has been managing to kayak all 50 states. And I said when I got to Hawaii, I got out into the water and out into the ocean, and the other people I was with were a little farther away from me. And all of a sudden it hit me that I did it. I set out to kayak all 50 states and I did it. And I just screamed. I sat there in my kayak screaming in the ocean. I did it. I did it. And this map behind me has Hawaii on it down here. And 4 years before I kayaked to Hawaii, I wrote the date on the map. May 16, 19.
And it was that date?
And I did it on that date, and I didn't work at reaching it on that date, but that's the date I did it.
Wow, how exciting.
I went to write it. See, these are stickers for the states. So I went to put the Hawaii sticker on, and I went to write the date, and it was already there. Wow. When did I write that on there, And I did. I sat in the ocean and screamed, I did it, I did it, I did it.
When you watched Frances, that's a great accomplishment too. I'm very proud of you. I couldn't do it because I can't swim. So I'd be easily out of that competition.
You don't have to swim inside the kayak.
I know, but I could tip over and then I'd never be seen again.
I don't like to come out of my kayak. I stay in the boat. No, we did get out of the kayak in Hawaii because we got out of the kayak, we anchored there, and we swam with the sea turtles. So I got a sea turtle look at me eyeball to eyeball this far away. It's a big thing, almost as big as the boat.
Yeah, don't be rubbing it in. Thank you so much.
Hey, Bruce, last question.
Sure. I just want to ask about Frances. What do you think of her? Was she just a real fun person to be with? What was that like?
She felt very real, very genuine. She didn't feel like a famous person. She just felt like a friend. I was very comfortable with her the whole time.
Are you talking now about going to the Oscars?
Oh, I won't go.
You won't go?
No, I won't. I won't be one of the top ones, I'm sure.
Well, you can still go to the event.
Well, I don't think they're going to do that. I think it'll be virtual.
They might be coming from your van. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much. And congratulations on a great film. It is just, I think it's the perfect film for these times. And it tells us there's something else than just being stuck in the house and working for the man, I guess is, I think we can find a different world out there. And I lived so many worlds through you guys. It was a wonderful thing.
Thank you. If you fall out of your boat, I have a life saving. I'll save you.
I'll call you when I start kayaking.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks so much.